The Jiggy Show, where jiggy people do jiggy things.
Y'all really like here for each other. Like, damn, if I'm ever on
Can we FaceTime? I was that effort. So they let a nigga get away on the garden. Early when you wake up, how you so pretty even when you wanna make up. You like it when I flip you over with your waist up. You know exactly what I needed for my taste buds. Don't just sign up to the side. Won't you sign up to the side? Don't you say I'm like man? And then we go on your mind. That's why you pick up and I ring. Girl, you pick up and I ring. Cause you know I put it on my bonita.
That's it. Yeah, that was pretty good. So like, welcome back. This is the Jiggy Show. We are live, right? We're recording. Yeah. So from now on, I think only this month of December, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna play all the DMV artists. I'm gonna play like 45 songs. So like, if you got a friend that's an artist that's struggling at home, is still on SoundCloud, hasn't made it big yet, bring him into the Jiggy Show, and I got y'all. I promise you. And then that song right there that just played was by who, Vivi? Who was this?
Nay.
But yeah, that song was Nate by Nate. Naked? Is it Naked or Nate? I think no, it's not
with the
Nate.
K-E-D at the end. I said Nay with the K-E-D at the end.
Yeah, that song was by Nate. You can find him everywhere, like all platforms and all that. At Naked, and the song was called Jasmine, right? Yeah, Jasmine. Pretty nice. Pretty. I don't know, dude, but the song was pretty good. And yeah, Jiggy Show. This is episode 6. Welcome. I got my friend with me, Vivi. Yo, we like actually like paid attention. This is like the first time we actually sitting down and talking. Like actually have a sit down conversation.
Yeah, I've heard you when you were on SoundCloud, and I watch a little bit of Shad's just because I'm a supporter. Just because I wrote him, and you know you can't really write somebody and be like, "Oh, I like this episode," but have no content to what you're gonna say. Like if you're gonna support, at least I watched a little bit, so I could at least say to Shad like, "Oh, it was nice when you said this." Oh, you know. See, this is that's what friends do.
Yes. This is the kind of energy I need moving on for the rest of my life. If you're not gonna bring it, stay away. But no, I got my friend Vivi in the show today. We got Stu, so like I'm probably be like twirling around. Hopefully I don't drop anything. But yeah, this is episode 6. I got my friend Vivi with me today. She is recently a mom. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Honestly, it feels good. I feel like it is really cliche to say that you like don't know what life was like before.
It really is it like that?
You had the baby, but I'll say this: like, I guess like when I found out I was pregnant, I know like instantly, like I was so shook. I think like I was crying for like 3 weeks straight. I'm not even gonna lie.
When did you find out?
And immediately. I found out when I was 9 weeks, and I found out on the 4th of July. And the reason I even found out was because my fiance has been saying for like weeks, like something's wrong. There's some chemical imbalances because you really tripping.
And
I'm like, no, like this is how I feel about X, Y, and Z, and this is why, like, I'm not tripping. And then just that night, while we're driving back from fireworks in DC, he was like, you know what? We're gonna go to Giant. I need you to take a test. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, here you go again. Like, saying that I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
Typical guy stuff.
And you know, and he went and he got it. He got the test. Came back home. Took the test. You know, waited. I'm pretty confident that I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pretty confident that I'm not.
This is kind of like low-key kind of funny though. How this happened.
No, it is funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because it's true.
Right.
So I take the test and I get the result, and like immediately I just like broke down like in tears. Like I was just
why?
I was just so
tears
sad.
Of joy? Oh,
no, I was just so sad.
Why
I'm gonna be
sad?
honest. I was just so sad. And I was sad about it for a really long time.
Why were you sad though?
Honestly, it was like the instant once I saw what was like on the stick, it was like my life, like this day and this moment right now, everything that I've known, how I've lived my life, it will never be like that again.
Word.
And it is crazy because I do feel a lot of growth, even just saying now, like before I used to have these, like that thought when I think back to that moment, like I would cry thinking about that instant, that feeling would make me really upset, but I'm obviously not upset right now. So, I think, honestly, right now I feel like I've fully emerged. I've fully like been acquainted to the fact that I'm a mom. I think because that feeling that who I am. I wouldn't say who I am because I feel like I'm still the same person.
So what changed then? So like, why were you so scared? Why were you sad? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because your life will you never get that day back.
Okay.
Like how everything was at that time, who you are with your family, who you are in your relationship, and my fiance, he has a daughter, my bonus, my bonus child. How we are as a unit, that will never be the change. That will never be the same from that change. From that instant moment is when I realized everything will differ. And I'm just talking about family, but friendship, that moment, friendship, that will change too. Like everything will change. I just knew that I was never going to get like everything that was prior. It's never going to be like that again.
Okay.
Like it will never be.
Okay.
So that was really sad for me.
Okay.
Because I had, for me, I think I gave myself a lot more time as to like when I think I was going to be a mom, and it obviously was not at that moment. And like this is what I would say, like I'll also just say this, like this is why I'm also like pro-choice, because to have options, that shit really matters.
Okay, so you consider taking a...
Yes, I definitely consider that because that's like, as a woman, my body, I have to know my options.
Okay.
If you're going to be sexually active, you have to know your options. And I would hope, like what I hope for everybody is to be with somebody who respect that they have the option. And it was really sad, even for me, honestly, when I found out, was because I was so sad. Like, I was so overwhelmed with everything negative. Damn. And Jeff, that's my fiance, Jeff was so happy.
That must have been like a little
like
awkward.
He was so happy.
How'd you handle that? Seeing him
I don't know how he handled it, but I just cried for weeks.
But like seeing him happy didn't like at least like bring a little comfort? Like this would be okay?
Honestly, no, because it was like my life. You know, like I'm carrying the child.
Okay, word.
What I was worried about was obviously I see his reaction. He's so happy. He's a great father. So like in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's comfortable in this role. That's all I knew. I don't know how he dealt with me, honestly, but I just knew that all I felt was sadness. I cried. I promise you, I cried for like 3 weeks straight. That I just cried every single day. And within that time, like, I know my friend Shanice here, shout out.
Was that stressing you out though? Like,
yes, it was stressing me out. I was on the phone with my friend like all day long, all the time. I was weighing my options.
Shout out to Shanice,
yeah, like I was weighing my options, and because I had those options, you know, I was weighing them out with my friend. I was weighing them out even with Jeff, and I knew it upset him because he was really happy again. Like he was really genuinely so excited. And I like saw that in him. But like honestly, I couldn't. My emotions took over. I just like my life is over. Like I said that so many times. Like my life is over. I don't know what I'm gonna do. My family's not gonna be cool with this. Like everything.
That was gonna be my next question. Like when did you break it down to your family? Like, because obviously you were sad, or your reaction was sad. But like, how did your family feel?
My family was like not happy about it. You know, like. And honestly, once I found out I was pregnant, you know, fast forward to actually going to the doctors and getting blood tests done. I'm gonna say this though, like for real, ladies, like you might hate hearing me say this, but if you are seeing positive on the stick,
go to the doctor. Still,
it's not false. There's false negatives, but there's rarely false positives.
Word.
Word. Why do you say that? Just make that appointment. I'm going to be serious. Don't be like, oh, this is false. You can take 5 more if you got the cash for it to buy and pee on the damn steak. But like,
you might as well go to the doctor.
You might as well go and get that confirmed for your own health, for your own baby's health, for whatever you choose to do moving forward.
Word.
for yourself. I'm gonna say for yourself.
What?
Whatever moving forward is very. It ain't no false positives. I'm gonna just say that. But again, once I went to the doctors and confirmed everything, I found out that I was 9 weeks. So so that's about 2 months.
Did you get sadder?
Yeah, I got sadder because then time was running out. Then I felt like I was like racing with time. If I had the option.
Why though?
Because the law. How was your life? Because they're not here for us. They're not here for us. You have what is legal up until 12 weeks, 13 weeks, and then 14 weeks is when you're really pushing it.
Yeah, that's if you live in VA though.
That's if you live in VA, and if you. And who knows, you know, like wherever else in the U.S., wherever you're watching, like it's important to know those things as well. Because, you know, they really trying to control and police these bodies out here. I'm upset. But they are. It is what it is. Like, it's really not comical. Mm-hmm. But that's real. And
so, like, after that 9 weeks, boom, you go to the doctor. And then now you figuring out your options.
Yeah.
And your fiance clearly already knows. So who is like the following person? Like who did you tell? Your family? Shanice. Shout out to Shanice.
I put it in the group chat. I told my friend Alejandra, who is an amazing mom. And her son is 6, 7.
Okay.
So and she was pregnant in high school. So again, how that looks is also very different from my experience. I have already had a college degree, already had a job when I was pregnant.
You're fairly. How old were you? Or how old are you now?
I'm 24 right now. Right. So I got pregnant. Wait. I'm 24. I'm 24. Yeah, I'm 24. Okay. Wait, I was like, I'm trying to get the math right. I turned 23 when I was pregnant. Okay. Yeah. So I was pregnant just before my 23rd birthday.
You're responsible.
I was pregnant at my 23rd birthday, and there were people at the birthday that I hadn't explicitly told, like, hey, I'm pregnant yet. So it was really funny because I went to a brunch. I wanted people to drink. I wanted everybody to have a good time. And then my homie Ben was like, why are you not drinking? And he kept pressing it. But low-key, he already knew. He just wanted me to say it to him. Yeah. But a lot of people, I didn't come out and be like,
why?
Oh, I'm pregnant.
Why? Did you think people were gonna like look at you a different way, like switch up?
Nah, I honestly didn't really care, like what like they would think. I think it was more so of me still accepting the reality that I am pregnant again, because like I said, that moment, like nothing's gonna be the same. I hung on to that, like I hung on to that for a really long time, probably. Up until maybe like 2 weeks ago, I still hung on to that. But now, like, I'm not upset about it when I'm saying it. I think once you asked me, I felt joy to answer. Okay. So like now, yes.
So
like,
now it's happy tears.
Now it's happy. Yeah. Now it's happy. Okay.
Yeah. Right, word. That's dope. I like that. Yeah. And what's his name again?
His name, boy? Yeah.
Yes.
It's a boy. His name is Jingham. Jingham means true gold. True gold.
What origin is that?
It's from so I watched Marco Polo, when me and Jeff were first, like, I guess seeing each other dating, we watched that show on Netflix all the time.
Netflix and chill.
And basically, there was like a master that was teaching the crown prince, you know, Confucius ways and stuff like that. He's a Mongolian crown prince. Okay. And the Mongolian Empire, if you don't know, was taking over like a lot of shit, like the whole world, pretty much. It was pretty large. It was quite large for the white man came. And, you know, we won't say that. We won't get on that today. We don't. We won't get on that today. But anyways, the Mongolian crown prince, his Chinese teacher gave him the name Jingham, which means true gold. Okay. And so that's where we got the name from for the crown prince. And I wanted to keep the J because Jeff name starts with a J.
Cute.
And
adorable.
Yeah. Adorable. And we went with Bishop because Jeff is the Q and his line name is Bishop. So he wanted to have that as well. Okay. So
no, like religious belief behind bishop or anything, just that.
No, there is religious context to it, but that's not why we chose it. We chose it because Jeff really liked Bishop. I did too. Okay, and the name comes from Tupac's character in Juice. So
classic.
That's my son.
Classic.
My son, Bishop.
Word.
And Gregory comes from Jingham. Bishop Gregory. Gregory comes from his grandfather, which is Jeff's dad, who's really prominent, powerful black father, black man in his life. So we wanted for Bishop to carry all those qualities, and then Robinson is the last name.
Word. Yeah. That's a long name.
That's a long name.
Yeah. Shout out to Bishop. We're going to shorten it to Bishop.
Yeah, you can shorten it to Bishop.
I don't think I can pronounce the first one yet.
It's Jingham. Jingham. There you go.
Jingham. That's kind of dope, actually. That's actually pretty
Jingham.
Mm-hmm. Word. All right. So you told your friend, you told Shanice, you told everybody, you came up front, and now you got to face in what the world thinks, but you clearly don't care what everybody else thinks. I honestly didn't really care about what other people thought. But what was the reception after they found out, though?
Like, I care mostly for what my family thought. Mm-hmm. Like, coming from, I think, my cultural background, like being Vietnamese and Chinese, like, it's good and it's bad because your family weighs in on a lot of things, and like we live in a really like in-group culture where like if you fucked up, that means your mom didn't raise you right, like your family fucked up, like it goes,
somebody's taking the blame.
Somebody, and it goes off for like the bad name of your family. Me, I've always kind of been like the star in my family. My mom had me
honor rolls.
I always. I'm never like.
Oh, this is why you were so sad. So you were always the good girl.
Yeah, I was always like, I did disappoint. Obviously when you grow up, you fight with your parents and stuff like that. But still, I did everything. I did everything right.
Sense.
I did everything
That's
right.
Why.
I always listened. I always valued, what they wanted. I always cared about. I honestly I didn't care about anybody's opinion aside from my mom's. And that was the opinion that I was like most like afraid of. And honestly I kept it from my family for as long as I could. I'm not even gonna lie, like I kept it from my family for a long time, and I'm really tiny. I didn't show until I was like in my 3rd trimester, like way in, like 35 weeks was when I was like, oh yeah, she's pregnant. Which when I went out to eat and people were so nice to me, I'm like, I should have just been out here with some tight shit the whole time. Because they were nice. So nice.
Word.
Yeah, I was like...
Word. No, you get extra treatment when you're pregnant.
Yes, they did. Yeah. We had a reservation, but it was like a long wait, and they were like, oh, we don't want... I heard them that we don't want her standing waiting. I'm like, I should have been doing this the whole time.
Yeah, she's funny.
Like, I did not... Okay, like I went on a cruise, and the cutoff time was, however weeks along. I was way over that shit. I was like maybe like 7 months pregnant on the cruise.
All right, for like everybody else that's like watching this and listening, don't use getting pregnant as a reason to get away with all this shit.
Yeah,
that's not what we're promoting here. That's not what we're promoting. But that's dope. So like you got extra treatment, you got extra love. How you feeling now at this point? Like son, is it coming down to you? Is it becoming more real? When did it become
real? in this.
Not right now. I'm saying
like
then.
Then?
Yeah. Is it becoming more real? It's like, okay, maybe this is cool.
Honestly, it did not become like cool until he was born. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. I was really sad like my entire pregnancy. I wasn't just sad when I found out I was pregnant. I was really, and I think it didn't have anything to do with what other people thought, but it was like how I felt about myself. That's why I wasn't like posting pictures of me and stuff like that, where a lot of people would say like, oh, I was hiding. No, I wasn't hiding. Like if you wanted to know, you would know. Facts. If I wanted you to know, you would know. Ask every other thing in my life. That's just my personal code.
I mean, it's also like it's social media. You don't need to validate.
Yeah, exactly.
Your life.
So, and I think I was in my mind really working through it. I was going through a transition with my job. I was going through transition with starting grad school.
Okay. And
just the reality of being a pregnant person, and I was feeling a lot of emotions anyway because I was fucking pregnant. Right. So I was just honestly,
Hey, shout out to your man for going through this though. Like you sound like you were like.
No, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
Word. If you dealing with that, hit her man up. He got y'all.
I honestly, and it sucks to like say out loud that I genuinely just felt sad when I was pregnant.
Word.
And I feel like big guilt with that when I look at my son now. Like, how could I have even carried you while I carried like so many negative energies?
Word.
Like I still am like working through that like in my mind, like how, because I really hope like none of it, because you know chemicals and everything, they feel what you feel, so like I feel really bad, but honestly I was just in a dump, like I just literally.
I mean, it sounds like something you just had to go through.
Yeah, like I just really felt sad the whole time. Like that's just how I felt. Like not in my relationship, because that part was great. My friends were supportive. My family, after they found out, they weren't happy, of course, and obviously that made me even more sad. But you know, they still help.
What's up with that though?
They still help.
Yeah.
That's just how I think my family is. Like,
I mean, I see why your family and your parents would be, but like if you tell your friends, like, all right, like I'm gonna be dealing with it, not you. Like I feel like you should be there to support me instead of like.
No,
judging.
my none of my friends were judgmental.
Oh, okay,
None of my friends were judgmental. If anybody was just judgmental, I would definitely say like my family for sure. And I think it was just because, you know, I think my mom really saw me, you know, being married. That was like her thing. You know, she only has one daughter.
You're taking all my questions, like
you know. Yeah. It all ties into each other. And that's what I'm saying. Like all this shit is like happening, you know, around you, just for the fact that you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Because people's lives and how they interact with you change also.
Facts.
And I'm like a big like energy feeler. So like I really
miss vibes.
I really like I don't miss vibes. You know what I mean? Like if you off, you the fuck off. Like you the ops. And I can spot an op. And I would not fuck with you if you are an op.
Good vibes only. Good vibes only.
Good vibes only.
Right,
and my, you know, and it made my mom really sad. My family was just really sad because I think all my life they just thought I would have like this nice wedding, everything super traditional, you know.
Well, look at you.
Like my Asian family, they didn't care what I did with my career. I mean, they cared that I was like happy and successful, of course. But like in my love life, because I was the only girl and I am the youngest girl, I think everybody really wanted to see like a wedding, you know, see something official. And then this was just, and my friend Shanice was like, why don't you want to celebrate, you know, your pregnancy? Like, there's something to be celebrated, da da da. And I really had to, like, I had a conversation with her where I was like, no, like, it's not.
It's not like that.
It's not like that. Like, it was totally the opposite. And my mom, me and Shanice were just talking about this too. Like, my mom was pissed, like, even in the hospital. The day I gave birth.
Wow.
The day after I gave birth, she was still pissed. I have a picture. She was holding my son, and she could not, like, crack a smile.
No, mama, no.
And,
mama. Shout out to mama
but
too.
you know what?
No.
She goes, but here's the thing. Okay. My son is now eating, like, solids. The family, she gets us like the $10.99 pound like steak. My son eats Kobe beef. That's grass fed, massaged cow, $28.99 per pound. That's what my mom buys my son. Now, my son has
eating really good.
Really good. She goes to the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Everything he has is organic. Like she's handpicking it from like the source herself. That's how my mom is now. And I think that changed also, like, my feelings. Because I care so much about my mom. Like, I'm going to be honest. And that weighed over me, like,
it's
really
making me
heavy.
feel bad. I feel like I should text my mom right now.
You should. You should. Because that's who's going to be there for you at the end of the day. Like, friends turn family or family, like, you know, and that was another thing weighing heavy. Like, I really genuinely thought I was going to, like, lose. Like, I was going to have to choose, like, between this new life, my new family, or, like, my family.
Oh, true.
And nobody has ever had my back like my mom had my back. And she's shown that time and time and time again, especially now. You know, like, even now.
Being a great grandma.
I just watch how she is with my son, and I'm like, wow, you know, like, it's really, like, amazing. Like, amazing to see
That's dope. How
it is. Like, she works 12 hours a day, you know, at her business, and then she comes home, and if he's visiting, she cooks for him. Like, she has his food, and she feeds him before she eats. You know, like, so she feeds him, gives him a bath, and then she goes and eats between her and my aunt. It was just, you know, the women in my family are very special. Very special to me.
Word. Alright, so, like, that's great. Hey, shout out to all women out there. You guys are holding it down. Like, I can never be pregnant. Never. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have all of that. But anyways, alright, so like you being sad, and I guess like did you ever fear like not being a good mom? Is that why? Also?
Yeah, you feel that every day. I feel that every
you still
day.
feel that now.
I don't feel like I'm a good mom right now just because I'm not with him and he's not on me right now.
Is it like that though?
It is. For me, it is. For me, it is.
Like, you have to have him here at all times. Like, you miss him.
I want him. You know, I want him. It's like, if I can, I would. I want him with me all the time. I want my son with me all the time.
All right, so, like, how's life now, though? How's life now, though? Because, you gotta go, are you back working?
Yes, so
like, how's that separation?
Okay, so that was also a transition and stuff, as I was saying earlier. So, initially, I wanted a work from home job so that I could be home with my son. Like, that was my plan. Like, that was my picture perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay. And I did everything I could to get the job. And I got the job. And I worked the job. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Word. It was actually taking time away from him when I was home with him. And he was really young at that time. I think maybe when he was first born, I had that job. I was a Vietnamese interpreter. So I did everything from, like, healthcare interpreting. Oh. I was level 4, so I did everything except for, like, courts interpreting. Word. So customer service, just anything and everything, you know, even, like, interview, Social Security stuff. Like, I did that. I just didn't do court proceeding stuff just because I don't have, you know,
you have to be certified. To do that,
yeah. So, and it was on the phone all day long. Oh. And they didn't give you, like, even a phone where you can, you know, like, walk away. And he was just tiny at the time, so he wasn't really, like, making a lot of noise, honestly. But it's all day on the phone, and if you miss your break and another call comes in, then you missed that break.
You gotta keep going back and forth.
Yeah, so it was actually, like, really exhausting. Okay. Like, I was in my home, I was with my son, but it was really exhausting. Okay. And then, actually, my fiance plugged me with the job that I work now, because he got hired, and he was like, man, if I can get hired, you can get hired. Wow. So I was like, honestly, I felt like, you know, I wasn't very confident, but I got the job anyway. So, like, now I work for the DOJ. I work under the DOJ. Nice. I work at ATF specifically. Nice. So I do government work. And
she has extra security, so, like, don't try now. Yeah, but anyways.
Oh, my God. But... yeah. Word. Yeah. So I enjoy my job. You know, I drive to and from DC every day, and it's chill. But it's not the best drive.
The 9 to 5 is you're just like in the office.
I'm just in the office. Yeah. Okay. And when I'm bored, I just look. Even
are you
when
one
I'm
of those
at
moms
home,
that FaceTimes him like while he's with his babysitter?
No, I let him have his own space with the babysitter and stuff like that. But I'm not doing anything, not even at my job. I'll just look at his pictures. I look at his pictures all the time. I'm just always going through, you know, every single pictures that I have of him.
When did it hit you that, like, all right, like, I'm, like, dead ass a mom? Like, I see this guy in front of me. Like,
honestly, I felt like I was dead ass a mom when I was pregnant. Because you're a mom. You're a mom. Yeah. Like, once you decide that that's what you're going to do, every decision you make has to be a mom decision. Everything I put in my body, everything I do, every decision we make as a family in terms of what my birth will look like, all of those things goes into what's best for the baby. So, like, you go into mom mode right then and there. Like, once I weighed my options and I picked an option, you know, which was to go forth with my pregnancy and have the baby, that was mom mode.
Okay. So it switched like that.
Yeah, that immediately, it was not even like a thought. It was just, now And that's the change. Now everything is what's best for Bishop. That's every decision. What's best for Bishop? Got to be. You got to, because you have like a whole person relying on you for food. You know, like food, clothing, love all of shelter, all that, right? And that's the thing. Like, that's also another thing. Like, if you're like, again, I'm not a single mom, you know, like I have my fiance, and that's also another thing. I feel bad for him sometimes because I feel like he gets neglected because it's all about Bishop, you know?
I mean, that's what he signed up for.
It's like it's all about the kids.
It's kind of like what he signed up for.
It is what he signed up for, but it...
Gotta make sacrifices.
You gotta keep some balances, you know? You gotta work on that relationship too, so... I do feel for him a little bit on that. But, you know, we try more now, I think, to do date nights or stuff for like each other, where it's like it was just us two, because it's really
you still gonna have a life.
It was really easy to lose that, and I can totally see why maybe some relationships could fail or like how things misunderstandings can happen because of a child. You know what I mean? Like I'm a believer in that now. Like now that I'm experiencing it, I'm like, okay.
So, like, what...
I need to start paying attention to him a little bit more.
Okay, all right.
Or, you know.
All right, so, like, pretty much, like, what helped, though? Like, what helped you, like, you guys see it through and stick it together?
I'm going to be honest again. Like you said, like, shout out to him. He was so good.
That's a patient young fella right there.
He was good throughout my pregnancy, I feel like. You know, I was really, like, sad. I was really not feeling a lot of happiness and good emotions. I was really happy when I knew I was having a boy, because I really wanted, like, a son really bad. And I was talking to...
She keeps taking on my questions, man.
And I was talking to my belly, and I was referring to it as
a boy.
As a boy.
It's a thing.
So I felt that.
Okay, word.
And Jeff and I didn't communicate this to each other, but he had felt it too. He was like, I just knew. He was like, when I kept asking you to take the pregnancy test, I felt like I was going to get a son.
All right, that's like I can't. That's beyond me. Sounds really
that's
dope.
The universe.
Though.
That's laws
really
of attraction.
Dope, though. Like I can't even.
Like
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
as shit.
And you know, I didn't do again, I honestly didn't feel in celebration mode, so I didn't do no gender reveal. My friend Vic threw me like a cute little like baby shower surprise party, which was something very intimate, like with all of my good friends. I appreciate everybody that was there, but like I personally just could not go through with like planning something. Like I did not feel like I was celebrating it. But for the baby's gender, when I did find out, I did something small for Jeff. So I went to you know, Target. And I got some like baby boy clothes, and I put it in the drawer, and I told him, "Hey, can you get me something out of the drawer?"
That's so cute.
And when he opened
it, tips.
And when he opened it was boys' clothes.
That's cute.
And Jeff,
that's adorable.
If you know him as a person, he's very like, he's very hype, like on 10,000 all the time. Completely opposite.
Started
of me.
doing backflips off the wall as soon as.
But that's the thing. Like he was so happy that he just was froze. Like, it's a boy, and he just was like, that was the first time I ever seen him like that about something.
Word.
So he was obviously really happy, because then right then was when he told me, like, I knew I was gonna
this is
have
making
a boy.
me happy. Like,
he was like, I knew. He was like, I prayed on it, and I knew I was gonna have a boy.
That's dope. Like,
yeah.
Alright, so like you mentioned gender reveal. You say you really wanted a boy. I mean, clearly he also did.
Yeah.
But like, why did you want a boy versus having a girl first, or having a girl? Period.
Well, Jeff already has a daughter, you know? So I was like, okay, like we already have a girl in the house, so a boy would be nice. And then, I don't know.
But if you didn't have a daughter already, would you?
I would still want a boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I would still want a boy.
What's so special?
I don't know, you know. I don't know why. That was just like a feeling I've always had. I might think about that some more.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more to it than just that, but I just knew I wanted a boy.
Sure, it's not an Asian thing. Like,
yeah, you know what? It could be. It's like,
thing.
Man, if I get pregnant, I'm gonna have a boy. Like he's, you know, that's the belief. That's the belief, and actually, like Bishop, even in my culture, like how my family looks at where his placement is in my fiance's family. He's the first boy of the oldest son. So Bishop if you're looking at it, my culture has a lot of leverage.
Okay.
Jeff thinks Bishop has a lot of leverage, but I'm just saying, like, Black American culture is not the same as but in my culture, like that's like Bishop is very prominent. Yeah. His role is very prominent. Right. So, but again, I don't want to put that pressure on my son. You know what I mean? Like I know that's again like a lot of things I'm working through, knowing where I come from, why my family believe things they believe, why Jeff's family believe things they believe. You know, a lot of those working. You know, understanding why things become about.
Word.
So I don't want to put that kind of pressure on my son, but like, one day he will watch this.
Yeah, you're gonna watch this, bro,
like,
and you better
fucking
be great.
Disappoint me straight like that. Be great. Don't fucking disappoint me like straight like that. I will be so hurt. Like now I know how my mom felt for anything that I've ever done wrong.
Word.
Like, how could you? I love you so much. I love you so much. Word. How could you?
Word.
Hurt me like
9 months. Damn it. Word.
9 months in a lifetime of everything I have to give is you.
Word. Yeah, don't disappoint your mom, bro. Or me, for that matter. But, yeah, also, like, while you were pregnant and your man went through hell, shout out to you. What was the best part about being pregnant, though? Like, was it because of, like, the privilege or, like, you can eat whatever you want type of thing? Not whatever you want, but, like, you can eat without being judged. Let's just say that.
I think the best part was just, like, the baby. Again, I didn't have, like, I had good times, you know what I mean? Like, I had good times, you know. I celebrated my 23rd birthday with all my friends. You know, I did things that were normal to me, and I went on a cruise, you know. I did fun things when I was pregnant, but again, like, I really just was not feeling like it was, like, a celebration in my mind until and I think I was sad, honestly, up until, like, when he was born. Then I was, like, immediately, it was just, like, I don't even know what that is. Like, I don't even know why I felt that. Like, now at this point, it's like, I don't even care what my mom thinks. This is my son, honestly. And the whole time, it was just like, oh, my mom, like, my mom. Honestly, for me, in my experience, that was, like, the heaviest weight I think I could ever carry in my life. And I don't think at that point I was even ready to carry that, honestly. And then when he was born, it was just like,
wow.
Yeah, it was just instant.
I guess like after you see it, it changes everything, right? Once
once they handed him to me.
Yeah, I've heard many women say that.
Yeah,
once that changes.
It was instant. Like, how could I have ever felt like anything else? Because like this is like.
That's dope.
This is the highest I've ever been. This is awesome. Like, this is my baby.
Word.
And it was, and it still is. You know, it's hard.
It's hard.
Like, this morning was like a hard day. Like, I knew I had to be here at 12:30. I was trying to get him to go to sleep around 9 something, so it'd give me a longer time to prepare.
Okay.
But he wasn't going to sleep at 9 something. He didn't fall asleep until after 10. And I was like, bruh, I have to be at the house by 11:40 at the latest. Yeah. But that only gives him an hour something to sleep. So, like, today was, like, a hard morning because sometimes he'll be like, nah, I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. But, you know, I don't know how other parents do it, but I think Jeff and I, we do have him on a schedule, but we do give him some freedom to kind of let his energy out at the same time. Yeah. So, it's like, all right, if I'm trying, you're not going to sleep.
I feel that.
And then when he, all right, you know, and then when he finally did go to sleep, I was like,
I'm out.
like once it
quick.
Was like silent, that's when, but that's what it's like. Mm-hmm. If anybody want to know what motherhood's like, that's what it's like. Word. You multitask like a motherfucker, and you
become a professional. And
you become professional and not wasting time. Because
I can dig
every
I feel like every moment, like
every moment, it's like, I could be doing this right now. It's like, oh, he's asleep. Like, I have time. Like, oh, like, I can do X, Y, and Z. Because when he's up, nope.
Okay, so, like, when do you have time for yourself? Because clearly, it's Saturday right now. And you were with the baby. It's not like and you're here now. Thank you for coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, he should have brought the baby, but no.
I didn't know if, like, last time if I was gonna come with Jeff, we were gonna bring him because then it's like 2 of us. I didn't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I asked Jeff to come with me because I didn't, you know, we were like, okay, it's better to have 2 people to handle him than just me.
Facts.
And I didn't tell Shanice to come until like maybe like right before I left.
Shout out to Shanice again.
Right.
Man, always there.
A real one. I'm
Day
gonna at the end of this I'm gonna find her ad.
Part
Okay.
2, parenthood.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
Word, that's dope. So like, when do you have time for yourself? Like, do you have,
I don't have much time for myself, if I'm being honest. And I have to say that because Shanice is here and she's looking at me. She won't let me lie on this.
word. Please don't.
And but I wasn't gonna lie anyways.
Yeah.
I would tell the truth.
Yeah, always.
It is hard to find time like for myself because again, it's like time for your relationship is separate from time for yourself.
Facts. That's
Time for your family. Time for your friends. But
you're like a blunt right now. Going in rotation.
but you know all those things work. What I've learned is like all those things work with each other.
Mhm.
So this is time I think for me to do something for a friend.
Word.
Being with a friend.
Word.
Something I like to do to
Alright,
share
word,
my message.
alright.
So you know
You're
this
really
is for me,
multitasking
but
for
also
real.
for you. And also I was like, okay, let me take this opportunity to see if she needs to come out. I'm gonna see her tonight anyway, but let me just see what she's doing.
You guys are inseparable. It sounds like
Pretty much.
you with her just as much as you with Bishop.
I'm not with her that much anymore,
Not
but that's what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
take advantage of opportunities where we can.
Dope. So like, for like future moms out there watching this, or like potential moms and like trying to figure out how to gauge this, what was your biggest sacrifice, and what would you advise them while like trying to make that sacrifice, like mentally, how to get over that and realize that this is reality. I have to make the sacrifice despite how I feel about myself, how life is, and all that.
I feel like sacrifices for I think moms in general is different because it really depends on like who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to generalize it because I don't want to speak for other people and their experiences. I can only speak for my own.
Exactly.
But I will say, I guess your biggest sacrifice is you. You're sacrificing your body
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost
Right.
because their body is a home for somebody. You know what I mean? So they are living and you're delivering them, which can be dangerous also. You know, like you have to be serious about those realities. So like you are sacrificing yourself.
Okay.
That is the biggest sacrifice. And it never stops. You do it till this day. Because again, it's like there's not a single mom that I have talked to that has not had like mom guilt. Like that shit is fucking real. And I still don't know when I'll ever get over it or if it is something that actually ends. I am at the point where I'm like, I don't think this shit's gonna end, but like I just need to be better at not being so like I guess like hard on myself.
Yeah.
Like that's something, you know, again, I'm very lucky. Like my fiance tells me that, you know, like you're doing good, you're doing a good job.
Sounds like it to me.
Because it is like and everybody from what I choose to share or even behind the scenes what I tell my friends, like everybody's like, okay, like it sounds like you got it. But like I honestly it is a sacrifice on yourself because it's your mental. I always feel like I can be with my son right now. Like why aren't you with your son right now? You know what I mean? And I think I'm starting to like try to work myself through those feelings. And I think a lot of it comes from like, again, my cultural background. That's like the first thing that I go to because my mom, you know, she stayed at home with me. She was a homemaker. And then when she went to work, I remember how I felt when she came to the U.S. and she worked all the time. And I was home by myself. I didn't really care, but it wasn't like a good thing. You know, like, you know, I remember a lot of dinners by myself and it was just me. So it made me who I am. It, you know, it built me. But I think our relationship from what I remember as a child and like her coming here and having to be away, like that, you know, that changed.
Sacrifices.
So I think that's a sacrifice, you know, and I think that is just all like what you're doing is the sacrifice because again, every decision like you make becomes what's best for the baby, at least for me anyway.
Okay.
Like every time I think about doing something, like honestly, I'm like,
Word.
What will this do for Bishop, or how does this affect Bishop? And honestly, like, I keep saying Bishop, but we have 2 kids in the house, so even in decisions that we make as a unit, it's like, what will happen to the children?
Word.
Because that's important.
That's dope.
And before we even have plans for ourselves, it's kind of like, okay, so this weekend, you know, Lonnie will be here, or what should we do with Bishop, or whatever, you know, like that.
That's dope.
There's no way. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, and I don't want to pass on judgment again, because these are my experiences. This is how it goes in our household. Like, I don't know how you don't have children come first, because like that's just instantly like for us. Yeah. Like, we can't go ahead and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and even when it comes to travel or anything, you know, like all those like autonomous thing that you did like so effortlessly, like just saying yes to going somewhere with your friends, like all those
really
things you can't.
Yeah. Word. Damn, sounds like a lot of sacrifices, but I mean, it's well worth it, obviously.
Sounds like Kenny does not want to be pregnant.
Or have kids. I don't know about that. It sounds like it's like too much. All right, so like, speaking of having kids, my sister also, she has 2 kids. And I remember when the kids were born, she had me like watch them, and I always hated, and I will forever hate it. Until this day, I still hate it. Changing diapers is the nastiest thing in the world. Because I used to do it, and when I was young, I didn't know how to do it right, and shit would be all over. Oh my!
How old were you?
I was like, probably like 16, 17.
Yeah, see, I have a little cousin, but like, again, I'm Vietnamese Chinese, so my cousin got promoted to uncle instead of second cousin, I guess. Yeah. Would be like the Americanized. Yeah, so we look at our cousins as brothers and sisters too. So like my little cousin who lives with us, well, my mom lives with in my mom's house. He's promoted to uncle, and it was so cute to see him also like his evolution into becoming an uncle, because at first he would not touch the baby. Word. Like, he came to the hospital and he just... I feel him. Like, I was in the hospital bed and he was just...
You might drop him. And
then for the longest, he just... And then when Bishop goes to sleep, he'll, like, just stand at the door and just watch, like, a guard, but never touch him. And then now that Bishop is, like, mobile, like, active, now he can, now, like, maybe, like, last week he picked him up. Maybe for the first time.
Dope. It's going to become really real when they start wiping that.
And and he says he will not do that. Like today, when I was like, yeah, I'm leaving for a few. He was like, what your baby going to do? He was like, well, what about your baby? I was like, I'm not leaving him here. I have a sitter that he's going to. Word. You will not have to watch him. And it's like, you know this. But he was so, like, terrified. Yeah. He's even terrified of me being like, I'm going to go take a shower. He might wake up. Can you just let me know if he's up? He's like, I don't know how to do that. You just wait till he gets up.
Hey, yo, like, I feel you. I feel you.
You just wait. Like, he is so scared.
Yeah, but I mean, they're fragile. You never know. That's how I approach it.
But, like, honestly, when I was in the hospital, I didn't change a single diaper. Jeff did all that.
Bro.
Jeff did all that.
I wish I had an award that I can like virtually give to this man. Like here,
I would tell him to watch this. I would tell him to watch this.
You won, bro. You won. Good job. Good job. Nah, like, that's what's up.
I did not change a single diaper.
What?
When I was in the hospital, for sure.
What?
When I got home, he had just started a job when I got home, so he wasn't there, but my aunt was there, and even when he was home, he would change the diapers. So when he was there, he changed the diapers. I was really scared of hurting Bishop because I feel like compared to now, he was really tiny, and I was really afraid of that. Facts. But Jeff, like, he was really like
out here
present. Like, when I mean like present in my birth, like he.
Word.
Like, I was like, did anything change of what like you think of me? You know, and he's like, no.
What does he mean?
And the thing is, like, he already has. Again, his daughter is, you know, Lonnie. She's 9. She's 9, so he's been through this before. You know, like we parent together now, but birth, that was my first birth, and his second. And I had asked him, you know, like he was an expert, like, so like, what does this look like, or like, what does, you know, because I'm like, you gonna tell me you've done this, right? Come on, like. this is where you come in. Like,
Word.
you've done this.
Word. You only have one job. Word. I got
Right,
you.
like, so, like, tell me what's up. Like,
Yeah.
what should I be expecting? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because I would research. Like,
Yeah.
I read like hell. Like, I read so much stuff when I was pregnant.
Mhm.
Just because I wanted, again, you, like, instant mom mode. Like, you want the best for your child. So when I was, like, reading all these things, I kept asking him, like, of reference. Like, is this how it was?
Yeah.
You know? And he, again, I give him kudos because when he had his first child, like, and I hope he doesn't mind me, like, sharing, like, his personal business, but he was fairly young, you know,
Mhm.
like, he turned 21 after Lonnie was born, so he was very young.
Mhm.
So me asking him all this, you know, and he would just tell me all the time, like, this is, like, a completely different experience for
Word.
him because he's
Word.
experiencing this
Word.
as a 29-year-old man now
Word.
versus a 19-year-old boy. So, and even the birth itself, the experience itself, he said was completely different because I chose to have, like, a natural birth. So he went into that with, like, a different mindset, you know? So,
Why a natural birth versus not?
okay, so again, for me,
Okay.
uh,
Uh-huh.
for me and for Jeff, we decided and we want a natural birth, and that's what we did. And, like, I'm thankful that we accomplished that. Like, it happened. It was a reality. 33 hours of labor, but natural because
33 hours.
if you did your research, I encourage everybody to do research. Period. Okay, like, do your research. Pitocin, research Pitocin, the medication that they put you on. Research epidural, what that does to you. What are the effects of that on yourself and the baby?
Okay.
I understand somebody can think of it as pain or whatever, you know, and request an epidural. There's no judgment on that either. That's fine. That's your decision.
Okay.
But my decision was different. But I did research on epidural, Pitocin. I researched how Pitocin came about.
Mhm.
And actually, okay, so when your body is giving birth as a woman, this is why I say, like, birth is natural. You know how to do it. If you think that you carried your baby all that time by yourself, I mean, yeah, you need assistance, you need support. There's a lot of other things go into birth, but, like, your body, you were made to do that.
Word.
Now, you were made to do that already.
Word.
So you have the capability. So I just did a lot of, like, I'm going to sound, like, really hippie-ish, but, like, for real, like, I watched only, like, I would just go on YouTube and I would watch only, I would just type in, like, natural birth stories and only watch the positive ones. I did not even allow, like, a negative,
True.
like, story in my mind. And also, you don't even have to work hard to do that because I feel like horror around birth stories is everywhere. It's in TV, it's in magazines, like, every scene that you see of, like, like, you know, the screaming, the, like, get the fuck out and all that
How were
stuff.
you? Were you calm? Like, how were you?
Yeah, I was really calm,
word.
but, like, that's the thing, like, again, Shanice was not there, but she saw the video.
Dope.
And I remember the first thing she said was, like, are you really, like, having a baby? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't hear anything.
Word.
That's what she said to me, you know?
Word.
She was like, I don't hear anything.
Word.
And Jeff was like, yeah, honestly, and your body does produce, like, those drugs for you.
Yeah.
So
naturally.
I felt very, like, don't do drugs, but I felt very, like, you know, like,
Please don't do drugs.
delusional.
Yeah.
And I told Jeff, I'm like, yo, like, I felt like I was delusional.
Yeah.
Because at a point, my eyes just became very faded. I don't know if it was the lack of sleep or just, like, kind of exhaustion also. But your body does that
Like,
for you.
calms
Your
you.
body does that for you.
Word.
And how you build that, if you would like a natural birth, is confidence. And again, I gained my confidence from doing my research. I was confident in my abilities because I knew what anatomy
yourself.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I prepped myself. It was like
Yeah.
going to a test. Once you
Yeah.
study,
Yeah.
once you
Word.
study, come on.
Word.
What the fuck you gonna get on test if you have actually studied? You
Word.
did all the fucking flashcards.
Word.
You went on Quizlet. You gonna pass.
Word.
So that is how I did
Hey,
it.
positive vibes, man. Vibes.
That's how I did it.
Word.
Honestly, that's all I put in my mind.
Word.
And I'll say this: the environment matters.
Mhm.
And also, we want it to be really, really natural. Like, we wanted to do at home.
Word.
But my mom was like,
Nah.
nah, like, Wrong answer.
What?
Like, my mom was like, absolutely not.
What?
And then also, like, we couldn't really afford, like, a midwife or doula at the time. Like, we had such a short amount of time to kind of decide on that because I was transitioning to jobs, so I didn't have healthcare.
Okay.
That's also a thing.
Okay,
you know, like, I didn't have healthcare. So my option in terms of the birth that I wanted was completely limited. You know, and that was really stressful again. That was also a wait, you know? That was a huge wait. I didn't see a doctor for my entire second trimester.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you feel like
I mean, nothing was... Again, I had a very easy pregnancy.
Word.
I did not throw up. I had no signs of
Word.
anything. Like, it didn't get, like, heavy on me until the third trimester. Like, until I was like, okay, like, come on.
My back
Come
hurts,
on. Yeah, like, now I
tie my
can't
shoes.
sleep.
Word.
Yeah. Like, now I'm, like, kind of up during the night because it's hard to get comfortable in the bed. But, again, if you want a natural birth, like, I just trained my mind. I just watch only positive things. I listened to a lot of, like, meditation. And I read a lot. Like, straight up, I read a lot. I read a lot on birth culture. And I really, like, educated myself on that subject.
Word.
So, and everything, and again, form your own opinion, do your own research. But from what I did, it only made us become even more confident in the fact that we want a natural birth.
Dope.
Because we wanted him to just be him when he enters this dimension, this physical world, and not on drugs or anything like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose and what your family choose. Because again, we were, you know, it wasn't like, oh, it has to go my way, because I was very...
At the end of the day, it does have to go your way, though, right?
You're right. But it was like, in case of emergencies, like, save my baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like,
and all those things, it sounds really morbid, but again, once you're in the situation, like, you have to consider all of those things for your safety and for the baby's safety. So, you know, I was like, if any, and I had a low risk pregnancy, which means it was very normal. All of my tests and everything was always like awesome.
Word.
Even when I didn't see the doctor, you know, everything was really good. And even up till the day that I was giving birth, everything was very normal.
Word.
You know?
Word.
And I will say
you
this.
make it sound so easy.
That's the thing, like, I don't know why more people don't tell stories
It's
like that. And I
though.
know that's not the reality for everybody, and I am very blessed. That's how it happened for me, because I know people come from family history of health complications and all those things, and they should protect themselves, do what's best for them.
Word.
But, and again, I didn't know anything about my family's health history. My mom never even talked about how her pregnancy really, like, was, you know?
Word.
Up until very close to when I was giving birth. And I didn't have, my mom's family was very poor, so, you know, there's no records of anything. My mom don't even have baby pictures. Like, that's how, like, poor, like, her family was. Like, I don't even know what she looked like as a child. So, medical records, like, they obviously didn't see no doctors, honestly. So we don't know, you know, but, yeah, we wanted him to come to this dimension aware. I wanted to be aware when I was bringing him to this dimension, you know, and it is, a lot of it is just removing all of these, like, kind of like scary things. Birth doesn't, and I only looked at videos of, like, natural birth, like the water birth, and all of them, you know, there is pain, I guess, if you're asking for, like, a painless birth. It can happen. It happens for some. Like, some people really, like, felt like it was like they orgasmed or something like that. Like, it was, like, amazing.
Word.
You know, and that, and some people know their body so well that, like, they can attain that.
Word.
I didn't know my body that well, I guess, but, like, you know, I still was in a daze.
Word.
And when they said it was time to push, like when they were like, okay, the baby's crowning, that's when, like, I guess the head appears and the baby's coming out. Like, before they said, like, I knew that. Like, I knew that. Like, I delivered my baby.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my option, but I can say I delivered my baby. Because I had my baby.
Word.
Me and Jeff had the baby.
Word.
You know, like, he was there. He knew what was happening. He knew what was going on. And that was a different experience for him, too, because he said that was completely different than
from the first time.
From, I guess, like an epidural birth or something like that.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
So it was and like everything that happens to you. And people always talk about the birth, the labor stuff, and that's another thing. People scared like, oh, labor, you're going to labor, and it's like this scene, but actually you labor for several days before you actually deliver. Like the birth is called a delivery.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't labor. You could be laboring for 3-4 days and you don't know it.
Wow.
Just like contractions.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and I'll say this.
Well, so then
I
how
was
long
not
was
on
your
no
labor,
birth
though?
control. You know, when I got pregnant, I had never been on like medical, like hormonal birth control in my life.
Okay.
And that's just something that like my mom never really, again, my mom didn't really talk to me about any of that stuff. So I just never went out and got birth control for myself.
Mm.
But that was also another reason. Like my period my whole life had not been like, I guess, regulated by birth control. So, and in my family history, we have like really horrible like cramps, and those are contraction. So what you feel like every month when you feel cramps, that's the contraction. Ain't no different from what you doing in the room
Word.
versus what you do monthly. Like
Word.
your body is so, the women's body, y'all don't even know. Like you here because of the body. So it's beyond.
Say that again. You here because of what? Sorry,
You here because of the body, okay? So the woman's body. So
yeah,
that's why I like the more like I really felt like empowered, you know, like okay, so even the nurses was like okay, like and that also matters. Like the nurses were really good. Like I was really lucky. I had a really respectful OBGYN. Like he knew what I wanted, and he was very lax, you know, like he didn't check all the time, and the nurses knew that, and they were very lax as well. Like okay, they just made sure I was okay. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I know that's not the reality for a lot of people, but I want people to know that that is their right.
Yeah.
That is your right. You know, like you don't, if there's a real emergency, of course, but a lot of times hospitals just overflow and they want to give you the Pitocin because they want to induce, like they want it to come fast so they can clear that motherfucking room for somebody else. Like that's real talk. That's just the business of birth.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, sadly. And that's like, and that's also another reason why we chose natural, because it wasn't that, you know, by this point I got healthcare, so I wasn't worried about getting my hospital bills racked up. But it is a business. They make money off of you and your baby. They want to give you all this X, Y, and Z. You won't see it on the bill. They getting paid.
Right.
They had made back in the day. Yes, there was higher mortality rate. But also at the same time, back in the day, women birthed in their homes, in the environment, surrounded by other women or people that knew them, where they're familiar. If you think of an animal when it's giving birth, just imagine like an elephant being strapped down in a hospital. If that's not natural, then why are you strapped in the bed? You're not sick. You're giving birth. You're giving life. Why are you in a place with sick people bringing a baby? Like,
Preach.
People go to the hospital because they're sick. You're pregnant.
Word.
You're not sick.
Word.
Unless you have like a high risk pregnancy and there is good scientific, you know, like things to help you, give you like, you know, save your life, save your baby's life. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's awesome. I'm thankful we have that. But again, I'm low risk pregnancy. There was nothing wrong with any of my testings. I did not have any issues when I was pregnant. And I didn't have any issues at my weekly checkup before I had the baby, so I became, you know, more confident in that.
Word.
And there's things that you can do naturally to help that, like raspberry leaf tea is
remedies.
Yeah, like raspberry leaf tea. That's something that even now I drink, and I'm not pregnant anymore. But that helps your uterus. Like, you know, like these are things just like you feed any other things in your body. There's things that you can do to help that. And I do, like, I have not, I'm still breastfeeding, so, like, I guess I haven't, like, gotten my period back from after being pregnant, mm-hmm. but you can still do those things, like, for yourself, pregnant or not. Just, you can look up, you know, natural remedies for, you know, your uterus or for cramps or anything like that, and there's just so much information on the internet, but you can, like, if you want to make that really, like, lifestyle switch and not, you know, like, use medicine or something like that. Like there are things that you can do, but that is why. That's why we went with natural, because that was what was natural to us.
Dope.
It's like okay.
Dope. She definitely advises you to do a natural. If it's low risk, do a natural birth.
I don't advise. I'm gonna say this.
She vouches though.
I vouch for a natural birth because you can do it.
Yeah.
Because I believe in your body that your body can do it.
Yes.
And I want to make it like important because you don't hear about
positives.
Good. Yeah, you don't hear about positives when it comes to birth because we're just so trained to think differently, and a lot of it is like your mind too. Like if you're not confident, if you're afraid, your body naturally protects you. So your body like immediately goes into fight or flight, something like that. Like your body comes into
defense.
Tense. Just like if you fall, like your body tense up, and that's what it does. And imagine if your body tense up, of course you can't. Of course, your baby won't be able to pass. Yeah. Because you're tense. Yeah. And he's scared too, or she's scared, or they're scared. Yeah. Like they're tensing up too. So those are the things where then you have to start to get medicated so that you can relax. Just think about that.
Okay. Word.
And just know that there's research out there. If you want, you can reach out to me personally. I don't know everything, but I'm more than happy to share what I know because I really had a wonderful birthing experience, like through and through. It was really like amazing.
That's dope.
The only thing I would do different next time is just do that shit at home for real.
Word.
Straight up.
That's dope.
That's the only thing that would be different.
Do it at home.
Yeah.
Word.
If I have to do another hospital, cool, okay, but that's the only thing that would be different. I highly vouch for a natural birth just because you are so powerful and like you can do it, and your baby. Aside from you, your baby is so powerful. They know what's up. They know when they want to come out. They know.
Right. That's dope.
They know what they're doing, man.
That's dope. Yeah. So natural birth. And all right. So like, seems like you were freaking out for no reason this whole time you were pregnant.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds. But like, and everything went beautifully. I'm glad my man is back. My man is here now, and he has to deal with the shitty world that we live in. But no.
Yeah.
Life will be better. But all right. So earlier you said that you feared being a good mom, and you still fear you fear being a bad mom, and you still fear that to this day. So like going forward and raising your son, and like what kind of mom do you aspire to be? See,
that's the hard part. Like the birth, the pregnancy, easy.
It's what happens now.
When you raise them, that is. They're not lying.
So this is to be continued.
This is to be continued. I mean, I obviously aspired, for, I'm gonna say things I aspired for him because we kind of already like we haven't written it down. We even made like a mental list, like even before we had him for Lonnie, like things that we want her to be, and then we try to see how we can do what we can do so that she can be those things. So a lot of like confidence and stuff like that. So in that context, I would say what I aspire for Bishop to be is, I want him to be confident. I want him to be aware, because you can know a lot, but you might not be aware, and that comes off different. So I want him to be aware of, who he is, where he is, his surroundings. I already know he's going to be strong, but I don't know. Like, I just want him to be, like, happy.
Word.
And I want him to be really comfortable with himself.
Facts.
That's what I aspire for
Facts.
him. So I think for me as a parent, I want to do everything that so that he can feel that and have that.
That's dope.
With a little bit of trauma so that he can be funny,
Yeah.
You gotta have some trauma in your life to be
Spank
funny.
him a little bit.
To laugh about someone shit that's not funny, but it is because it's true.
So do you vouch for spanking here and there?
just traumatize him a little bit.
Do you vouch for spanking if he's out of order here and there?
I spank him now. He is 10 months and he knows what. No.
Hey, if me and you.
And again, I will say, there's context to everything. So I don't want to be like,
She's out here just knocking
I don't want to say you have to have spanking to be a disciplined person. I know that the context of being submissive comes from, slavery and a lot of other things that we have to consider. But I mean, I know those things, and I will teach him those things because they come from somewhere. The mindset of why you get whipped into shape and stuff like that comes from somewhere. I want him to be aware of that. But yes, he gets spanked. Yes.
Word.
Yes.
Hey, my
yes.
kid, if you act out of line, you're gonna get your ass.
Yeah,
That's
like
that's straight up attack.
but he gets spanked.
You don't have to know where it comes from.
I want him to be aware. So I'll teach him those things.
You're a nice mom.
It's part of who he is. It's part of his family history. So like, I want him to know that.
That's nice. I'm not gonna.
Jeff be like he's gonna be that kid that like is in school like 4 years old. They're telling Thanksgiving story and he'd be like, this was a day based on mass genocide. Jeff's like, that's gonna be my son.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey man.
Hey, exactly.
He's not lying though.
He's gonna be smart.
Yeah, he's gonna be smart. He already is. So he already is.
Word.
He really is. I feel like people say that about their kid, but
I was going with that. I was gonna let you live that. I was gonna let you enjoy it.
But I think it's true.
Word.
I mean, we'll see.
It's just the mom in you.
I mean, I just hope he's healthy and happy. In any part of life that he is ever in, for both of the kids, that's what we want them to be just truly like happy, feel that they can be their authentic self.
That's dope. That's
See, and there's my mom looking for me.
That's beautiful. Okay,
you're still somebody's kid when you have a kid.
Can
you still answer somebody.
Can you we're about to cut off, but can you tell your mom I say hi? But yeah,
I will.
That is episode 6. This is the Jiggy Show, and Vivi, thank you so much. That's my mom too, I think. But Vivi, thanks so much for coming through, Mama. Does everybody call you that now, or is this like?
I don't know. I feel like people will be commenting. Yeah, like Shanice says Mama V. You said Mama Luong.
Yeah.
People commented that on like my pictures and stuff. Like Mama V. Yeah. Like I guess that's me now. Shit. I guess so.
All right, Mama. Thank you. And please give out your handles because you did put yourself out there for people to come and ask you for everything. So. If you're pregnant, or if you're like about to be pregnant, you're planning, please like flood her DMs. Like, please, this is what she's here. And thank you so much for coming.
I'll let y'all know the real, like whatever I can.
Please give her your handle too, so they will know where to find you.
Yes. So just hit me on Instagram. Instagram's best. @_ VIVILUONG. So @_ Vivi Luong. That's it. And then, hold up. I said I'm going to give y'all Shanice's handle. If you want to talk about anything, you can hit Shanice at SHANICE Marie, 2 E's, okay? So Shanice Marie with the 2 E's.
Is Shanice single? Fellas! Free handle. Let's go. And that is the Jiggy Show episode 6. Let's get it.
Lord have mercy.
That was so
you was gonna get me in trouble with the last question. That's not my question to answer, okay?
Is this thing on?